and so in the last session we discussed the management research question hierarchy. In that, just a minute, few people are waiting in the lobby. So in the last session we discussed about management research questions hierarchy. So there are different questions we need to understand, and we discussed that there are different types of questions like management dilemma is there. That management dilemma need to be clearly mentioned, clearly stated in the form of management question, and then that management question need to be translated into a proper research question so that the appropriate research can be conducted further on that problem. So was that very clear to you all in the last session, or if you have any query you can ask me before we go ahead. We discuss different stages like management dilemma, then management question, research question, investigative questions, then measurement question, and management decision. With a example of delivery time, the delay in the delivery, that example we took, the complaints which were received because of delay in the delivery time. So that example we took, and we understood how that management question can be formed and how that management question can be translated into research question, and subsequently into the investigative question, measurement question, and then how management can take decision on that. We also took other examples of manager of healthcare service, then vice president of labor relations for an auto manufacturer, and retail advertising manager of major metropolitan newspaper. These few examples we took. So was there any query in this?
No, sir.
Achha. So what we'll do is,
No,
yes, so we'll go further, and I just give you a little background of the topic which we are going to discuss today. The research proposal that I give you a brief background. So this research proposal we need to understand and discuss today. So the research proposal is a work plan or outline of research. I told you that it is a plan before we start the actual research. Before we actually start the research, we need to have a proper work plan, research plan, outline of the research, how we are going about the research. That is called as research proposal. The management invest money into such research works, whatever problems they have, to solve those problems. If a research is needed to be conducted, some money need to be invested for the research, and therefore they will always analyze, or they will always study the research proposal. They will do a cost benefit analysis, and if the proposal is justifiable, or if that uh, the proposal is satisfactory, then it is approved, so that the actual research work can start. So it is also a roadmap which directs or guides the researcher. Alternatively, it is also termed as statement of intent. It can be also called as statement of intent, draft plan, work plan, or prospectus. This research proposal is intended to convince others. So this research proposal is being prepared by researcher to convince about the value of the research to the decision makers or the top management of an organization. So generally this research proposal should contain all the key elements involved in the research process and include sufficient information for the readers to evaluate the proposed study. So In a research proposal, the researcher should mention all the related things about how he is going to conduct the research, what are the timelines, budget, and everything, whatever is required to take the decision by the management. Then we discussed that all research proposals, whatever the kind of research may be, it should answer few basic questions. All the research proposals should contain information related to these questions. The questions may be what you plan to accomplish, what you want to, why you want to do it, and how you are going to do it. So these basic questions need to be answered through a research proposal. The basic structure of research proposal I show you last time. This structure of the research proposal will contain different components of this research proposal, like executive summary, then we have problem statement, research objectives, literature review, then importance or benefits of the study, research design, data analysis, results or deliverables, expertise of the researcher, budget, timeline, and bibliography. We are going to discuss all these components in detail in today's session. First component is your title. The title of your study or the research, title of your research. Whatever research the researcher has proposed, he should give a proper title to that research. So the research title should be concise and descriptive. Concise means what? Anybody? Concise?
Point to point, sir.
Very right. Concise means brief, to the point, which can express the intent of the research. So it should be concise and descriptive. So it should be brief as well as it should express what is intended research work to be done. It should be simple and clear. The research title should be simple, clear, understandable. However, if possible, think of an informative but catchy title. That title should be informative. It should give information about what type of research you are going to conduct and what that research is all about. And at the same time, it should be a catchy title. It should be interesting. An effective title not only piques the reader's interest but also predisposes him or her favorably towards the proposal. So, effective title should create the reader's interest. The reader may be the decision maker or the management who is reading this title. They should get interested in this title or the research work you are proposing to do. So that is about the title. Then is your executive summary. The executive summary is a brief summary. It is a brief summary of approximately 300 words. So it is a summary of entire research work which you are planning to do. In a 300 words, you have to summarize what you are going to do in that particular research. So this summary, executive summary, it should contain all the research question, the rationale or the justification of the study, the hypothesis, the method, and the main findings. So this summary should give a brief picture of what you are going to perform in that particular research work. Descriptions of the method may include the design, procedures, the sample, and instrument that will be used. So this executive summary will brief about all those things or what all the procedures, methods, approaches which we are going to do, what are the methodologies, what is the process, and how you are going to conduct that research, and the brief outcome or the deliverables we can say, because at this stage the results are not there. the results may be obtained about after the research being conducted. So there may be deliverables or the benefits of this research. So this executive summary will be a snapshot, or it can be a summary of the entire research work which you have planned in just 300 words. Then comes is your introduction of the study. So introduction shall contain the brief background of the study, the background of the particular market, the background of a particular company or the particular industry, that need to be included in the introduction, and how that problem is there, the background of the problem, how that problem is being there, and the context, in the context of that industry and that company, that need to be specified in introduction. And second thing is your problem statement. You need to specify the problem. The problem need to be stated in clear terms. So this problem statement, you state the research problem, which is often referred to as the purpose of the study, with a focus on a specific research problem to be followed by rational or justification of the proposed study. So the researcher, need to state the research problem clearly, that need to be that can be understandable by the management or the decision makers. And then the researcher also need to give a rational or justification or reasons why that study or research is needed to solve that problem. Then provide the context, provide the background, and set the stage for your research question in such a way that it shows the necessity and importance of the study. So provide all the background, necessary background of the company, market or industry, competitors, and give justification or reasons so as to show the necessity of why that research is needed to be conducted. And then briefly describe the major issues and sub problems to be addressed by your research. Then discuss and describe the major issues and sub problems to be addressed by your research. So there should be a clear problem statement, as well as you describe the problem clearly, the background of the problem, as well as whatever sub problems are there along with that main problem, that also need to be described and discussed after the research problem statement. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then comes your research objectives, hypotheses and limitations. So then you need to mention the research objectives, different hypotheses proposed, and the limitations. And the main purpose is to solve the management question. So we have to first of all understand, the research need to first of all understand the purpose of that particular research is to solve that management question, and therefore what objectives need to be set for that particular research, that need to be mentioned. What are the different objectives behind conducting that research need to be stated clearly. Then identify the key independent and dependent variables of your experiment or the study. Alternatively, specify the phenomenon you want to study. So describe or specify the particular phenomenon or event you want to study, particular happening or particular impact which you want to study, that you need to specify. Also identify the key independent and dependent variables of your experiment or study. Have you come across with the terms independent and dependent variables? We'll be discussing independent and dependent variables in detail in subsequent units, but then you need to have a brief idea about what is independent and dependent variable. Do you know what is dependent and independent variable? Anybody? Anybody have any idea? Vinod, Narayan, Omkar. Anybody?
Whose value depend on other
It's called as
dependent variable.
so. See, there is dependent and independent variables which you will learn in the subsequent units. But at this stage, I will give you a brief idea about what is independent and dependent variable. So, dependent variable is the variable which is dependent on other variables. Like you can take the example sales and advertisement. Here the sales is a dependent variable. It gets affected by the other variables. So sales may be affected by availability or the advertisement. So sales is a dependent variable and advertisement, availability, these are the independent variables which affect the other the dependent variable. So see, in this example, sales get affected by advertisement. The advertisement is an independent variable. It does not get affected by sales. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So sales is a dependent variable which is dependent on advertisement, and advertisement is a independent variable. So advertisement can affect sales, and sales may not affect the advertisement. So here in this example, sales is a dependent variable and advertisement is an independent variable. So while doing that particular experiment or study, you need to understand the independent and dependent variables. Also, you specify the phenomenon or that particular event or happening which you want to study. Further, you need to state the hypothesis of theory, if any. So if you are proposing hypothesis for your particular study, the researcher need to state the hypothesis of the study. Hypothesis we have studied. Hypothesis may be the assumptions which you are proposing for your study. On the base, these assumptions or this hypothesis will help the researcher to go further for conducting that particular study. It can guide the particular research. So the hypothesis need to be stated, then set the limitations or boundaries of your proposed research in order to provide a clear focus. So here you also mention the limitations or boundaries of your research, what it is limited to and what it is not related to, that you need to specify in limitations. So you can specify that this particular research is limited to Pune city. So that means all that research is conducted that is related to people in Pune city. It is not related to people beyond Pune city. So all that boundaries of your research you need to specify in your research proposal. And then also provide definitions of key concepts, some key concepts or some terms which you are using to make the decision makers understand those terms. You also provide definitions of key concepts you are using in your research proposal. Then comes is your literature review. So literature review, it can be also called as a review of literature review. So can anybody tell me what is literature? Literature, have you heard this word? Anybody make a it can be a guess, may be a wrong, but at least you should interact. Devendra, you wanted to say something? Mangesh? शुभम.
सर ते मराठीत मिनिंग माहिती आहे सर मला, ते साहित्य वगैरे म्हणता बघा आपण ते ते ना, तर मला एक्झॅक्ट माहित नाही इंग्लिश मध्ये काय म्हणता, बट ते साहित्य वगैरे नसतं ना आपलं, बंच ऑफ सेट वगैरे काहीतरी असते सर.
Okay, so that means Vinod is also he is right. Literature means the available information or available knowledge related to a particular topic. There may be information or knowledge available for a particular topic in the form of some articles, in the form of some books, in the form of some research papers. So reviewing that, studying those available information and knowledge, the one which has been written by somebody else earlier, that review of that is called as literature review or review of literature. So a literature review is a search and evaluation of the available literature in your given subject or chosen topic area. So before starting with the research, to make the problem statement clear, the researcher may go with literature review. So to have an clear-cut understanding of the particular problem, the researcher need to go through the available literature. There is different articles, research papers, different theses, then different books. So through all this information which is already available, what importantly the researcher does is he try to understand that problem clearly, and different factors or different variables which are directly or indirectly associated with that problem can be understood through review of that available literature. Are you getting why we are doing the literature research or literature review? Are you understanding, or you want me to discuss it once again?
No sir, I understand.
Yes, sir.
This research review, the literature review can also be called as a secondary data or secondary research. So that means the data or the information knowledge is already available. The research which is being conducted by other researcher earlier, that data or information knowledge which is already available, that we are studying to have a clear-cut problem identification, understanding the different aspects which are related to that particular problem. We do this literature review. It serves different important functions. This literature review can help you in many ways. So it demonstrates your understanding of the theoretical and research issues related to your research question. So this literature review can help you to understand that particular problem theoretically, and different aspects, dimensions of that particular problem, different issues which are related to your particular research problem. It also shows your ability to critically evaluate relevant literature or information. It provides new theoretical insights and develop a new model as a conceptual framework for your research. So based on that available data, you can relate the problem and the different issues associated with that problem, the different reasons which causes that particular problem. You can have your particular theoretical model or conceptual framework to solve that particular problem. You are more clear with the problem, how that problem can be solved. You get many reasons why that problem occurs, different solutions, how the researcher or earlier researchers have conducted the research, how they solve that problem, what are the different sub problems or issues, aspects associated with that problem. All that you can go through this available literature, and you get a clear idea how we can further go about this research. So by doing the literature review, we are more clear about the research in hand. Then you specify the significance and benefits of the study. Significance means importance of that particular study to the organization, to the top management, and the benefits of the study that also need to be specified. Then going ahead is the research design. So the researcher in this research proposal, the next what he needs to discuss and elaborate is the research design. Research design, earlier I have told you that research design is a framework for conducting a particular research. So it will give you the particular framework or the plan of doing the research. It may include all those things which through which you are planning to conduct the research, all the methods, the approaches which we are proposing, all need to be specified in research design. So this research design may have different contents like type of research, the nature of the research. So you need to specify all these things in your research design, like type of research, the nature of the research instrument. That means what instrument you are planning to use for collecting the information. It may be a survey questionnaire, it may be a machine, it may be an interview. Then specify research period, the type of product, method of data collection, universe means the population of the respondents or the particular people where you want to take the feedback. Then sample elements, who is the how much who are the sample elements, sampling method, how you are going to take out the sample from that population, sources of data collection, what are the different sources of collection, the primary sources or secondary sources. Then measurable scale used, what scale you are using for measuring the data which is collected or data to be collected. Then question types, what type of questions you are asking to the respondents in questionnaire or in a interview, what questions you are proposing to ask. Means there may be some open-ended question, closed-ended question. In that closed-ended questions also there are different types. So we'll be discussing question types in detail later. Then the rating scales, how you are going to measure the answers or the responses from the respondents, on what scale you are going to measure that. Those rating scales also need to be specified. And the statistical tools, what statistical tools are the statistical methods you are proposing in this research design, all that need to be specified in a research design. Are you getting this? Any queries so far?
Yes. No sir.
No, sir.
No sir.
Okay. Going ahead, another thing the researcher need to specify is data analysis, how he is going to carry out the analysis of the information. So that collected data can be analyzed through different appropriate statistical tools and statistical softwares like SPSS, SAS, Stata, R, Amos. These are different statistical softwares which are available by which you can analyze the collected data. So the researcher will specify all these data analysis tools and the different softwares which may be used for that analysis. Then comes is your research deliverables. So the researcher may not be able to provide the results or the outcome of that study in the research proposal, but however what he can do is he can provide the deliverables, what all the benefits or the possible outcomes for the decision makers or the management, those can be specified in results and deliverables. Next comes is your expertise of the researcher. The experience the researcher has, how many number of experience, number of years of experience the researcher has, the profile, what are his areas of expertise, all need to be highlighted in the expertise of the researcher. Then comes your budget for that proposed study. So the researcher will provide the budget of all the expenses which can be incurred during the research in all the stages, right from the planning stage to the outcomes or the findings and presenting the research. All those stage-wise budget can be provided by the researcher. Then timelines. The researcher also need to specify the timelines of the research. How what will be the time taken by each stage-wise timetable or timelines can be provided by the researcher for that proposed study. And last one is bibliography. Bibliography need to mention all the references for the study, such as books, articles, journal details referred, specified in the particular format. All those references of the different books, research papers, journals, wherever from whichever sources you have collected the secondary data or the literature you have conducted, all those references need to be specified in bibliography. In a review of literature, as we discussed, the researcher need to go through different available literature, maybe books, research papers, journals, or different PhD theses, or the articles, books, magazines, reports, all those different sources of available literature which researcher is using. The references of those sources need to be mentioned in bibliography. There may be different formats of how the research the references can be quoted. All those formats are available. There are many styles of writing references that we can study later. But at this stage, we need to understand that all those references can be mentioned in bibliography. So this is all about your research proposal for the research. Have you understood this research proposal, why it is needed? What are the different components of the research proposal? Have you understood all these components? Or if any query is there, you can ask me. Any queries so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So before closing the session, I will just have a recap of what we discussed today. We discussed research proposal, the importance of the research proposal, why it is needed, the different contents or the different components of the research proposal we discussed, and we discussed all the components in detail. So the other topics after this research proposal, what we have in the syllabus, what we'll do is we'll discuss it in the next session. So before we close, you tell me if you have any doubts, any queries related to this topic before we close. Any queries so far, Vinod?